It's yeah, you know, it's out. Now we gotta tear it apart. Now, if you missed the live stream where we actually took this thing out live, that was last night for me. I don't know how long it is for you. I don't know when you're watching this. Anyhoozle, we ripped this thing out of there on live stream. That's what I'm trying to say. And boy, it was an adventure.
So what is Dan okay?
So far, he's underneath the engine, literally underneath the middle.
That hasn't been crushed yet.
Oh, good.
I don't know. Everybody is so damn paranoid. You could never. I don't know how y'all get anything done being that paranoid.
I mean, you've got it's still resting on the engine mounts, right?
Well, the engine mounts are broken, so I don't have to undo them.
That's why I'm saying, hey, you might not want to be underneath there, but hey.
But now that we got this thing out of here, well, we gotta disassemble it, clean it up, and get it, halfway decent so we can bring it inside the house so that we can build our new motor to go back in by next spring. That's the plan, right? So in order to do that, we had to, we had to strip this thing down. And I am super curious to know what in the world this thing even is, because I thought it was a 289 for like 2 decades. Well, when we changed the starter not too long ago, I checked the block, and the block is 69 to 74. They didn't make a 289 in 69. They stopped that halfway through 68. So it's like, must be a 302. But we really don't know for sure. Now, we're not going to disassemble the entire thing in this video. I mean, we're going to break it up a little bit, content, right? But what I do want to do is I want to get the heads off this video, because that's going to tell us, a few things. It's going to tell me, first and foremost, what bore diameter is this? Is it 30 over, or is it a standard bore block? For whatever reason, I think it's a 30 over block. Something back in my memory banks is telling me that. I don't know why. We want to confirm it. Secondly, I want to see what kind of condition the heads are in, because we may possibly reuse these heads for the next engine. The middle engine, right? We were porting those E7s, but E7s are, I spent that work on them, but they're not, if these are in better shape, maybe we can just do a quick port on these instead and toss it back on is my plan. That way they have the adjustable rockers, I don't have to mess around with, all that jazz. And, well, I suppose we can take tunnel ram off, because that's already disassembled. And we'll take these valve covers off. I think I only got, two left here. Then 4 left on that side. Then we need to take the alternator off and the coil. So that'll be good. Okay. Next thing, we'll take all this valve train off, and we'll just put all the parts in this empty pizza box. So that seems like the right thing to do, really. I don't know about all of you, but empty pizza box for the win, right? Now, normally you want to make sure all this stuff goes back exactly the way you found it, but we're not reusing the camshaft, so we might reuse these. I have no idea, but they're not going to be mated to the same lifter, so it really doesn't matter in which orientation these go back in if you're not using the same stuff. Okay, we got the valve train out, right? In the pizza box. We have already made some very interesting discoveries, okay? Let me bring you in, show you what I found, and yeah, no, very interesting. So first things first, right off the bat, we notice we're missing a retainer. So this valve is obviously wonky, right? It's sitting up at an angle like that. See? Yeah. So that's discovery number one. Discovery number two, this guy right here. Surprisingly, all the other lifters are perfect, which I thought going into this, I figured we were going to have an eaten away camshaft, really bad lifters. This is the only one that is toast. A little pitting right there. Yeah, that's the worst out of all of them. Every other one looks perfect. But we're not reusing any of this anyway. The cam's coming out. We're going, something different anyway. Then, if we look here, you can tell this guy is sunk in shorter than this guy. This guy matches all the rest of them. Just that one right there is shorter. No idea why that is. Just a fluke, I suppose, but it was an observation. And my last observation was, if you look at the valve stem tips, right? Okay. Uh-oh. That guy is worn down to nothing, right? Extremely worn valve stem tip there. So, between this guy being wonky, that guy, which is just ground away, yeah, and this guy here, we were not running optimally, is all I gotta say. So, not the discoveries I thought we were gonna make, but, interesting nonetheless. Like I said, I thought the camshaft was going to be white, but it's not. Yeah, this one lifter is, it got some pitting on it, but it's not like concaved in or nothing. And then, yeah, this, obviously, valve train stability. Actually, oh yeah, this right here, the one that's all wonky, the one missing the retainer, the valve stem is worn down, same as this one over here. It matches. Actually, it's funny because they are the exact same. They're the exact same intake on either side, right in the rear. Crazy. So, that's most of our reasoning why we weren't making quite what we thought we should be making. But you gotta hand it to it for being in the shape that it's in so far. Anyway, it ran pretty good for that. Okay, enough rambling. Let's get the alternator off, this coil off, and let's whip these heads off. All right, so this head, the passenger side, I've had off a total of, I think, 3 times. The driver's side head, I've never had off. Never seen the inside of there. But I'm going to start with this one, because I'm going to leave the unknown till last, because that's the most exciting part. All right. Oh. Yep. There we go. Oof, die. I actually torqued these to spec? Doesn't sound like me. Guess I did though, because they are on there. We had one that was a little looser than the others, but not bad. That's the nice thing about using hand tools, disassembling stuff, so you can actually feel if something's not quite the same as the rest. Yep, there we go. Oh yeah. What do we got? What's in there? Whole lot of pistons. Well, that's what we got there. Really, standard, pretty much. Just stock type pistons. The wall's not even bad. Is there a ring wrench? No. Really? Just a tiny bit? Barely noticeable? That's just carbon. That's not even a ring ridge. There's no ring ridge? What the fuck? Okay. What about this though? Might be more to this story over here. What in the world we got going on here? Is that... what is that? Is that carbon buildup? Or is that... huh. Weird. That is an excessive amount of whatever that is. Just kind of plonked right there on the intake valve. And a little on the exhaust valve. Strange. Okay, well, you know, it is what it is. Clearly we have oil consumption right there. Probably through the valve guides. What is going on here now? Oh, you are completely sunk in. Oh, check him out. Oh, is that my one that's eating away? Yep, that's my valve that's eating away too. Wow, these heads are not rated for performance. Well, that's okay. Let's see what the other one's like. I've never taken that one off, so I'm curious to see what it's like under there. Alright, let's break you loose.
Are you just putting the quads on there?
How can I help you? What?
No, I was just asking if you had the dual quads on there.
Yeah, they were on there. For a little bit, anyway. Just has to come at the wrong moment. Exact wrong moment for him to come by right when I'm filming. Anyways, let's take a look at this one. Holy buckets. More of the same. More of the same. No ring ridge. Nope. Cylinders. Yep. Still even see a little cross hatching. Wow. Crazy. Pistons. Yep, they're still there. Now, the head. Is there any mysteries going on with this one? Oh. Now that I've almost completely dropped it on the ground and soaked my pant leg. Let's see here. No. None are sunken in that I can see. No obvious big things of gunk sitting on there. Overall, this side is just completely, well, there it is. Not bad. Not too bad. I don't know if these valves are sealing or not. Probably not, but not overall too bad. Oh, yeah. So, I've not touched this side, like, ever. So this is just the way that it's been the entire time I've owned it. I've taken the other head off a couple of times, you know, when I was young and dumb and messing stuff up. Note, the gasket holes back here for the water, not up here. Yeah, my dumbass put that gasket on backwards. Yeah, so this whole side of the engine was running super hot for long extended periods of time. Yeah, is what it is. So, what have we learned? Well, we learned that we've had valve train issues with worn away valve stems. That one, the exhaust valve being sunken in like that, kind of on the side. I want to know if it really destroyed that seat. Well, clearly it didn't help it any, but I want to see if these heads are reusable. I would really like to reuse these heads. I'd like to do a little mild porting and and put it back together with these heads on. That we're gonna have to check out first, so tear it all apart and really see what we got. Which is going to be the next step, is to tear these heads apart and get those cleaned up. We'll finish tearing apart the engine first, though. Not today. We'll worry about the front accessories, getting the camshaft out, and then eventually pulling the pan and checking out the bearings in future videos. My pant leg is soaked, so I'm going to call it a night. We've seen what we've seen, and we've learned what we learned, and a lot more yet to come. So, until then, I'll catch you next time. You are going to be one bad mamma jamba this spring, I'm telling you. I mean, you were pretty spunky before, and, well, let's face it, you were trash.